So last night we had a monumental show, guys. It was what you would call epic. Kicked a lot of butt, talk for about an hour and a half about the debates. You know, and this is not new. This is what we do on this channel, guys. After debates, I watch the debates. I tweet about the debates. I talk up, and I'm in the moment. I watch the entire debate, and then right after the debate, as soon as possible, I go live and I share with the audience, the whole Wolfpack crew, what was said, what things kind of stood out to me. You know, some things may slip past, but I get most of it. And I try to report on it. Then I give a synopsis of winners and losers and who need to get out or whatever, right? So we did that last night, guys. Shout out to anybody who tuned in for it. It was a great show, I think. A lot of people have written me and said, Tim, one of your best shows. I'm like, hey, I have no filter. That's all it is. I had no filter. I'm going to say what I feel, and and I'm gonna do my best to try to make it entertaining, but keep it real as well. So I'm wondering where I should go because one of these segments could take up a whole lot. Let me just let you know the craziness of our corporate media and how they saw that debate last night. So I covered the debates, and I told you who I thought did well. I thought Bernie Sanders did well. I mean, he was the only one who talked about Palestinians being human beings. He's the only one that spoke, other than Tom Steyer, about climate change with any sense of urgency. There was some moments that Cory Booker had signs that he ain't trying to go home yet, which is good. Elizabeth Warren, to me, did not stand out, even though she was lobbed a bunch of softballs where she got a lot of talk time, but she didn't really do much with it, I thought, to stand out, to make herself seem like a great candidate. Not in my opinion. So there were moments, of course, for other candidates like Tulsi Gabbard, once again being challenged by the establishment and by Kamala Harris this time, where it looked like a setup, and I have no doubt it was a setup question by the MSNBC commentators to give Kamala Harris a chance to get some get back, frankly. And that get back didn't give back the way she thought it would. So we talked about these things, but as far as winners and losers, one of the winners I felt was Pete, because he survived the night where he did not really get questioned on South Carolina and all of the travesties from him basically doctoring a document to make it look like he had all this black support in South Carolina, where he basically fraudulently included names of 400 prominent South Carolinians, black South Carolinians, in the document and gave them only a little bit of time to say, hey, we're going to put you in this document unless you tell us not to. We don't want to ask you to be in it. We're just going to assume you want to be in this document supporting Pete Buttigieg, and unless you contact us before we go to print, you're going to be in the document forever. And no one called him out on it. And it's been all this talk about, well, black people in South Carolina don't like Pete because he's gay or homophobia or something like that. And so we got that, plus Pete in South Carolina with the fake document. Not only that, a press release in that same document where he was showing how he has all the support amongst black people in South Carolina. There was a stock photo from a woman in Kenya that I guess was supposed to look like it was a black woman from South Carolina who supported him on the cover. So you got a document that's about South Carolina, and on the cover you got a black woman from Kenya in Kenya that you bought off a website. And it just seemed like a bunch of screwy, strategic, slimeball, strategy, insincere garbage, right? And none of it made it into the debates. I posed a question on Twitter asking why this didn't make it into the debates. MSNBC contributor and Dr. Jason Johnson responded by saying, it's not much to gain for these candidates, particularly candidates of color, to go after white folks in these debates. It seems like they get smeared every time they do it. You got Kamala Harris went after Joe Biden and she dropped. Julian Castro went after Joe Biden and he didn't even make the debates because people thought it was so negative for him to call out Joe Biden. Went back and forth with him, but because Cory Booker called out Joe Biden, he made the debates. Called him out almost every debate. He's calling out Joe Biden, and Cory Booker's black, but Dr. Jason Johnson reminds me that the politics of Cory Booker is more milquetoast than others. So though he may be black, he may not have the most blackest the blackest of the black, or a black forwarding type of, game-changing legislation or message. So, I'm still looking into it, but it's a theory that's worth considering. In regards to Kamala Harris, if Dr. Jason's saying, hey, man, there's information out there that leads you to believe that Kamala Harris she was being destroyed by the establishment, not propped up. I find it hard to believe that the prosecutor is somehow going to go up in the system in the support of poor and working people, particularly black people, especially after she went on the Breakfast Club and said she would never, unequivocally, no way that she would ever do anything special for black people. And I think that her surreptitious fall in the standings had more to do with that than it had to do with some of the other things that are tangentially related to her candidacy, as far as her dancing or her smoking weed or whatever, or inability to time to say when she liked Tupac's record or something like that. I forget what that was. So anyway, here we go. This brings us all up to this, guys. Check this out. Let's go here. So here we go. These are folks. We don't need to name them. You can see them. All right. And good nights were had by a couple. I thought Andrew Yang had he humanized himself, and that's great. And I think he's always been human, but you know what I'm saying. Like, he was the most humanistic of the debaters. Him and Bernie Sanders, I would say, and actually also Tom Steyer. Very conversational in tone. Like just having a conversation, not, no grandstanding, no fakeness. I think he does a good job at that. I mean, I don't know anything about his policies. I do know he gave a lot of money to help fight climate change. He's got an organization that's doing some good work, and he's dumped a lot of money into it. So there you go. There goes the field. There goes the field, folks. Now, what I want to get to now is this. Speaking time. Now, this I got a screenshot of this last night, right after the debates. Excuse me, guys. And it shows who spoke, how long they spoke, who got the most speak time. All right. So, as you can see here, it's in descending order. Elizabeth Warren with 1331, Buttigieg with 1256, Biden with 1248, Sanders with 1147. You could argue, you could quibble about that, but the top four candidates, according to recent polling, if you believe the polling, they're within a minute of each other, as much as 90 seconds from each other, okay? Not that bad as far as a space or gap between them. Cory Booker spoke a lot for someone who's not doing so well, as did Kamala Harris, actually, I think. So you got some speak time going on there. So let's scroll down and see what other people did here. So Booker, 1132, Harris right behind him with 1131, Klobuchar with 1058, Gabbard with 912. That's big drop-off once you get to these folks, once you get beneath Klobuchar. And what really stands out to me here is Andrew Yang with only 6 minutes and 48 seconds. Listen, look, good guys, you got to understand something, right? We have a lot of fun on this show, and we joke a lot, and then I call people out, and I call it as I see it, and that's what the Tim Black brand is all about. We've been that way for years, way back when I did a show called News for People Who Can't Stand the News, and then I had a skit type of News of the Day thing that I did with Judge Tim Black, where I hit the gavel and would render a verdict, the people's verdict, by lay people. That's what I did. This is my brand. Way back when I was Tim the Bartender, back in 09 and 08. Okay, so this is not new. This has always been the way that I roll. But I want you to understand something. I do not personally have a beef with Andrew Yang. Though I called Andrew Yang out, I also do not personally have a beef with Tulsi Gabbard, though occasionally I've called her out. I've also called out Bernie Sanders, which I did just last night. But then I realized that Bernie Sanders is playing the game as well, where, he'll say, Russia, 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 to get them off his back. But there have been other cases, as with reparations, as with some of his language regarding black issues, that I had to call Bernie Sanders out. Yes, the candidate that I've supported for almost 5 years now. I had to call him out because that's what we do here. I know this is only really an issue when it's your candidate is the candidate that I'm calling out. But I don't want Andrew Yang to only go up on the stage and get 6 minutes worth of talk time. That doesn't benefit my cause, which is supporting candidates, supporting us speaking truth to power to get the real truth out to the people. Like, that's what we do this for. That's what I do this for. So it benefits me not to see Andrew Yang go up on the stage, have a unique point of view, and then not be able to express that view. Damn it, guys. Andrew Yang was on the stage. He didn't say his first word 20-something minutes into the damn debate. That is a travesty. Now, I don't know why when it was me that the Yang Gang had a disagreement with me, I got bombarded. I was bombarded with an embargo of Yang Cargo about how horrible I was. Okay, where are you with MSNBC giving your guy only 6 minutes worth of talk time? Why aren't you hitting Rachel Maddow's account right now? Why aren't you going after Amy Welker? Why aren't you going after some of these other people? I forget the name of all these people, right? But there's a group of people, Andrea Mitchell. Why aren't you Look, I'm not calling for you to harass them, but at least show them the same attention that you showed me with my little YouTube channel. As, like, keep it a little fair. I call out Andrew Yang for using the language of Medicare for All without supporting Medicare for All, and you act like I had thrown a dog down some steps. But they give your candidate 6 minutes of talk time. He doesn't speak for 20-something minutes in a debate that he is not even the bottom or even in the bottom 3 or 4 of in that debate that he qualified for. And I don't see the traffic from you guys. So that's making me think maybe there's a reason why. Is there something to do with, I don't know, what's going on with you guys now? Are you scared to really speak truth to power? Or do you only go after independent media like Tim Black? You can't go after the big heavy hitters that are really effing up your campaign, that are really blacking out your guy? Now, I could be wrong. I haven't been looking. I haven't been searching. But you know in your heart of hearts if I got a point. Tim Black did hold Andrew Yang down to 6 minutes, only 6 minutes worth of speak time in a damn show that was 90 minutes. I didn't do it. Somebody else did that. You need to be calling those people to account for what they did. That's what you should be doing. And also, maybe we should be talking about the Washington Post, who said that Pete Buttigieg won the night. Now, I say Pete Buttigieg was a winner, but not because he did something special, because he survived the night. In my book, Pete Buttigieg should have faced all types of backlash for South Carolina. I'm not going to say and repeat it again. We already spoke. I already said emphatically what I felt about Pete Buttigieg and what should have happened to him as far as South Carolina. That should have been the focal point. They should have been talking about that. That should have came out the mouth of Andrea Mitchell and Rachel Maddow immediately. It was in the news. It's something everybody knew about, and still nothing. Nothing on the subject. That should have been tabled like anything else. And they had the temerity, the unmitigated gall, as Stephen A. Smith say, to say Amy Klobuchar won the night. Two of the most milquetoast candidates in the race, Amy Klobuchar and Pete Buttigieg, are somehow riveting spokesmodels, riveting candidates. Now, don't get me wrong. The debate was not my favorite, my least favorite debate, okay? But even in a boring-ass debate like the one we had last night, I don't see Pete Buttigieg with his boring ass or Amy Klobuchar carrying the night. But they did. This is just a reminder, folks, of the travesty which is our corporate media. How don't believe what your eyes see and don't believe what your ears hear, because they see it different than you. They live in their corporate media bubble, their Washington, D.C. bubble, and they pontificate to us. I don't think there's a single solitary person who watched my live stream last night got the impression that Amy Klobuchar someone could designate her as the winner of the debate. In what world? She was shaking like Michael J. Fox. She was shaking like a wet koala left outside on the deck in cold temperatures, which is wrong to do. But that's what she was doing. And when she wasn't doing that, she was spewing platitudes and looking for pause lines for trite, cliche comments that meant nothing and added no substance to the conversation. That's what she was doing. And let's keep it real. Amy Klobuchar is not running to be elected for anything. She's running to raise her profile. So there. Horrible. Send your hate mail to the MSNBC and their corporate execs and to their moderators for a crap job. You can also email me too, but make sure you make the address, make it out to Yo Mama's house at TimBlackTV.com, and I'll get back to you as soon as your mama lets me. Did you enjoy that content? I know you did. You got great taste, Johnson. What can I say? Become a member of the Tim Black Wolf Pack today right here on YouTube, or go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, and you'll get free stuff, special stuff, secret stuff. Do it today. Wolf Pack.